don't care what the Supreme Court says. I never even knew anything about the Supreme Court before.
We have queer kids.
You have?
We have queer kids. My womb has yet to produce a straight child.
Women can also have penis and they're still women, regardless of that.
I can live without Harry Potter, but trans kids can't live without transitioning.
I don't think any trans people believe that biological sex simply doesn't exist at all. No one's denying that.
There are animals that change sex. We know this. So you might...
Like clownfish?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but they do it all by themselves.
Yeah.
Is there no such thing as cis joy? Surely cis joy is as valid as trans joy.
Bearded man tries to stop us, but there she goes with the Turf Island flag. Hi everyone, here is my report on Trans Pride London 2025. It includes a lot of swear words, and that's just me reading out their signs. I've bleeped out the swear words, but YouTube might take issue with it and decide not to put any ads on this video, which means no dosh for me. So I wanted to ask you to sign up to my Patreon, where you can support me on a monthly basis, or if you prefer like a one-off contribution, you can do that via PayPal or on here via Super Thanks. Okay, let's go. So I went to London Pride, barely got out of the tube station and onto the street, caught the start of the parade, and then I heard this.
Yeah, go on, Mr. Benno, get filming. I love you really. I support free speech for you too.
And there is Alan Baker, I think his original name is. Longest serving so-called trans prisoner in the UK. He was in for 30 odd years for kidnap and torture and then attempted murder once he was in prison. Tried to kill his cellmate, so then they kept him in sort of indefinitely. Obviously, he then got out. And then 2 years ago, he was calling for TERFs to be punched in the face.
If you see a TERF, punch him in the face!
And he was recalled to prison and spent at least another half a year, maybe longer, back in prison. And now he's roaming the streets again, topless.
I know you hate me, but I don't mind.
I don't hate you.
I think you're a great musician. Come for a row in my boat. I got a better boat than J.K. Rowling.
I think I'll give that. I don't believe that.
And she doesn't care about you either. She doesn't care about you, TERFs. She doesn't.
What does J.K. Rowling care about?
Do you know what? I think after the Harry Potter franchise got taken over, I think she's looking for meaning in her life, and she thinks that by attacking trans people somehow it's going to make people love her. Do you know what I mean? But you know, Mr. Miller, I'm being serious, right? I don't care what the Supreme Court says. I never even knew anything about the Supreme Court before. The people who will allow me to use their toilets, because I will ask. I don't just barge into women's spaces. Even in prison, even when I was in a woman's prison, I said, look, just keep me in a segregation unit or keep me in a hospital.
How long were you in the women's prison for?
I was in a women's prison for about a year.
Which one?
I can't really tell you. I don't want to embarrass the staff or anyone else there.
All right.
Do you know what I mean?
But when you went back, was it last year you went back or the year before? It's 2 years ago, right? That you were.
Yeah, when I went back to prison for my speech. Yeah.
And then you were placed in a men's prison.
Yeah. Well, not initially. Initially, I was placed into Bonsfield.
Okay.
And then because of I don't know who influenced the decision to move me to a male prison. All I heard was that Sorella Braverman had been pressured.
Right. Go on. Sorry.
And 1,790 anti-trans activists putting a petition in against me. I didn't realise I had so many powerful enemies. But these are people I don't know.
Now, there's one question I've been meaning to ask you for a while.
Go for it.
There was an interview that I watched you do. I can't remember when it was. It must have been years ago. And it went on for about 3 hours, I think.
Probably Sean Atwood on YouTube.
And there was something, you were talking about your, growing up as a child.
Yeah.
Having a very violent father.
Yeah.
And that your mother was at the hands of his abuse.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And there was one thing that you said that as just stayed with me, right? Because it felt so sad to me. You said that your only memory of your mum was her having a black eye.
Yeah.
So when you then stand on a stage 2 years ago on Trafalgar Square and say, when you see a turf, as much as you disagree with him, punch him in the face, don't you feel you're repeating your dad's pattern?
Hey, Mr. Menno, I've admitted it to other people. I'm sorry. It wasn't my finest hour. It wasn't. I was really upset. Before I'd come to London Trans Pride, I'd received lots of death threats, rape threats from my partner, threats to firebomb my home. I was really, really angry, and I guess I transferred my anger maybe onto the anti-trans community. Like I say, I am sorry, it wasn't my finest hour. I could have done so much better, and I have a lot more words that I can use instead of the ones I did. I'm embarrassed, and I was publicly shamed.
Do you think it was right that you were recalled to prison for that?
Yes.
Right. But in court you kind of said it was just a joke.
I wanted to get on the front page of the Daily Mail to show the Daily Mail who will share all the images, all the photos, and unfortunately everything that comes out of my mouth. I want to show them that, look, it does not matter what court makes what ruling. There are still tens of thousands, maybe 1 million people like me in Great Britain who are still going to be here no matter what the Supreme Court ruling says.
But then, and this is why I take issue with it's always being turned into oaths about hate. There is a clear conflict of rights here between women's rights and, for example, what you want for yourself.
Do you know what, right?
I mean, do you acknowledge that there's a conflict there?
I'm trying to be a bit more joyful, and as I say, I'm embarrassed what I said, and I'm sorry if I offended anybody. I can't take it back, but I will take the consequences on the chin, as I do, as is right. I think if someone presents a clear and present danger to the public, they should be in prison. Me, I'm just trying to get attention from the press.
And what do you want the press to take notice of from you?
Just that no matter what anybody says, no matter how much hatred is directed in our way, we're still going to be here.
Yeah, do you see that it's not about hatred though? It's about a conflict of rights and different people standing up and saying we're not down with this.
Yeah, but I was the one who was in prison for 30 years. I'm not.
Yeah, but that was your own fault.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm saying I'm not representative of the whole trans community.
And I would never say that you are.
Of me. I love you. Take care. I'll see you later, Mr. Menno.
Have a good day.
Hey, we love you.
Right, I only just got there, and straight away I'm talking to the longest-serving so-called trans prisoner in the UK. Of course, he's right at the front. What a strange man. I love you, Mr. Menno. He's like, what? Why'd you hate me? I don't hate him. He once sent me a DM asking, why do you hate trans people? Why do you hate me? I don't. I just strongly disagree with the rights of women and the rights of gays being erased and kids being up in the name of gender. I think a lot of the general public are slightly bemused by all of this. That's an interesting one. We don't need no thought control. Yeah, I agree. Okay, here it says uproot the turf. And again, they've got flowers. Flowers is the theme for this parade. Little mooks. Oh, here's a sign about JKR. JKR, our blood is on your hands. And the arm is all red. Hi, can I ask you about your sign? Is that okay? Yeah. Well, silly question maybe. What inspired it?
I mean, I used to be a massive Harry Potter fan as a kid, but growing up and now seeing like the state of everything, where all her money's going to, I can't tolerate the treatment that JKR has towards trans people in the UK. Like, enough is enough.
What are some of the things that she said that makes you go, hold on?
I mean, it's more just about like the actions more than anything. I mean, her words speak loudly, but it's all the donations that she keeps putting in towards causes that literally just want to demonize the lives of people like myself who do nothing but just spread love and kindness on the daily.
Right. I guess she would say I'm standing up for women's rights, which is... you don't agree with that?
No, because I mean, like, trans women are also women, and also trans men are men. And in these situations, she's basically saying that they're not. And, you know, it's not really about equality in her eyes if she's only treating cis women as women, because all women, all men are men, and that's how it should always be.
Now, the Supreme Court delivered a ruling earlier this year that doesn't take that line. What is your feeling about that?
I mean, I think it's all nonsense, honestly. Like, we're such a small percentage of the country, small percentage of the entire world population, and we're not doing anything wrong. We're just trying to spread love and kindness and just be our true selves, and I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see why she sees anything wrong with that. Like, I just think she needs to just let people be. We're all just trying to be ourselves, be kind to one another. I think she just needs to take a lesson out of our books here.
Thank you. Right. People are carrying flowers. Hiya. What is the symbolism of the flowers?
It's a good question. It's a kindness.
They were asking for people to bring flowers, but I was wondering if there was like a symbolism to it.
I wish I had a good answer. I wish they'd bring it back. Not as many people do it anymore. Marsha P. Johnson, they're associated with, to my knowledge. I'm not sure why she did. I'll have to find out.
Okay. It's a sign about sports. Sport saves trans lives. Well, they can all play sports if they want, but the guys should be in the men's category, and that's it, you know. Trans youth deserve a future. Live, love, leave trans people alone. Never again, says that sign. I think they're trying to make a connection there with the Nazis. Trans women's achievements are women's achievements. And some mastectomy scars. West Streeting, Keir Starmer, trans right now. Eloquent. Beautiful dresses. Right, these are some very fabulous dresses.
Thank you.
Did you make them yourself?
Yes and no.
Shushed.
And what does rainbow womb refer to?
We have queer kids.
You have?
We have queer kids. My womb has yet to produce a straight child.
Okay.
And I've done half and half, so yeah.
How do you feel about the Labour government's policy on puberty blockers?
Oh, big question.
Big question. That's.
A lot of it's personal.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm afraid it's
a lot of it's
personal.
personal.
Yeah.
And people should be allowed to make more personal choices for themselves. The government's making a great deal of assumptions and making blanket decisions for people based on those assumptions. And every case is different and should be considered individually.
Because when you said queer kid, queer doesn't necessarily mean trans.
I have one trans and one gay.
Right.
So I have two sons. One is gay and one is trans.
Yeah. And does your child want to have any sort of medical interventions? And
yes.
Is that quite a difficult thing to navigate as a parent?
Very much so.
Finding the channels to support them is the most difficult part. Not being a parent.
If we didn't have the financial wherewithal to do it privately for our child might not be here.
Right.
I've had my child hospitalized twice because they were trying to unalive themselves. And this is life-saving care, but we had to go privately. And I am terrified thinking about the children who don't have parents that are supportive or in a position to help them the way that we've helped our child. It must be such a hopeless existence, and it kills me to think of them. child is happy and alive and is going to get their treatment very soon. So,
How old are they?
16.
Okay. All right. Have a good day. To be honest, when I'm faced with a parent who's doing that to their kids, I don't know what to say. Like in the moment, a part of me just wants to rage. Part of me just wants to say, look, that is not a son, that's a daughter. But what's that going to achieve in a situation like this?
In moments like that, I wish I was more like Kelly J, but I was just completely stumped when someone's gone that far down the path and they truly believe that if they don't put their child, daughter in this case, on testosterone, that they wouldn't even be here. Like, what on earth do you say? What could make a difference? Even if I'd said, I think you're making a terrible mistake here, would that have made any difference? Would that have got through? I don't know. What do you think?
Here's a sign that says turfs offside. Hiya. Can I ask about your sign? Is that okay?
Yes, of course. Who was it?
I have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, okay. What's
So-
your YouTube channel?
It's Mr. Menno.
Okay, what is your YouTube channel about?
I look at the conflict between sex and gender from various different angles. So, trans rights, women's rights, gay rights, healthcare. And I saw that on the back your sign said turfs offside.
Yes.
Where are they supposed to go?
Offside.
And not participate in public life, or what does it mean?
Turfs offside.
What's up? So they can't play? They can't...
So the turfs, they go offside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what does that mean? Like, does that mean they can't participate in public life?
So what I would suggest is if you look at the offside rule, and then that would make sense.
I know nothing about sports.
Oh, you don't? Oh, just Google it.
So all that tells me is that you have to sit on the bench and you can't play or something?
Oh, no. If you look at the definition and then you'll know.
All right, you don't want to tell me now?
Oh, no, I don't need to. If you just Google it, you'll be fine.
Okay, all right. Ciao. For free? Right, they want all the drugs for free. Oh, here's a turfs a sign. Let me just see if I can get that. Oh yeah. Can I just get that sign? The other side? And the other side? Turfs. What's the issue with turfs? Why turfs? What have they done to you? Turf cheers. Wow, they're really going for the turfs on this parade. G with a T. Arm the dolls. How are you? Doesn't want to talk. Fascists don't get to play with dolls, right? Dolls is the word for men who think they're women. This person wants to get onto GB News. Hiya. If you were on GB News, what would you say?
Leave us alone, man. Like, we're just trying to live. We're just trying to live.
You don't think they give you like good representation?
Well, I mean, they don't really like us very much.
They've had a couple of people on.
Huh?
They've had a couple of people on from your community, I think.
Oh, good. I guess good. I get the... Huh? You want me to...
Let people poo in peas. Mate, you can poo. You can poo, but if you're a man, you poo in the gents, and if you're a woman, you poo in the ladies. More flowers. Hiya. What's the symbolism of the flowers?
Actually, I think. What's the symbolism of flowers?
I see lots of people brought flowers and they called for it online, but Is there a particular meaning behind the flowers?
I believe it's about peaceful protest. We're offering flowers in solidarity and allyship.
Exclusion kills people. I'm just a guy and life is a nightmare. So there's a sign that says J.K. Rowling put cis into fascism. That's a sign that says Supreme. What's your inspiration behind the sign?
Feminism means all women, and actually feminism is about liberating everyone from gender stereotypes and like expectations assigned to us at birth. I don't know.
I'm all with you on breaking the stereotypes. It's been the bane of my life for a long time. So how, in your version of feminism, what is a woman?
Where are you filming from?
Where am I?
Yeah, from. Where are you?
I run a YouTube channel called Mr. Menno.
Okay.
So I look at the conflict between women's rights, gay rights, trans rights.
Yeah, I don't think there's much of a conflict. I think it's all part of the same struggle. And we can get down in the weeds of pedantics if we want, or we can come together and fight for everybody to be free. And it's really exclusionary and unhelpful for feminism to split itself. I don't see the point of that. It benefits no one. And trans women particularly experience misogyny every day as much as a cis woman does. So we should be standing together.
But in terms of, say, prison policy, do you think it's pedantic for women to want to have single-sex prisons?
Well, I think that kind of ignores the fact that there are plenty of women already assaulting each other very viciously and dangerously, and the levels of sexual assault in women's prisons can be very high. I know this from a friend of mine who works in criminal justice, and nobody's interested in that because we're only interested in the clickbait on this debate. It's not about prisons, it really isn't. If you would care about the situation of women in prison or women in sports, there are much bigger issues than this. Much bigger issues.
What would you say those bigger issues are?
Oh, proper funding, proper services. Proper funding and proper services. Okay.
Right, here's a sign that says, oop, don't know if I can get it. We add more genders every time you complain. There we go. But there's still only two sexes. "2025, what a cluster of and they've highlighted the word turf. That's clever. I have to give it to them, that's clever.
What do we want? Trans rights. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Trans rights. When do we want it? Now.
What's so shit about cis?
No, I can't, babe. I can't. I can't.
Is there no such thing as cis joy?
I can't, babe.
Surely cis joy is as valid as trans joy. I've just left the parade because I think I've seen enough of it, to be honest. So I'm heading to Parliament Square, which is where the parade is heading to. And then I saw this guy in a very bright pink suit, hot pink suit, and a little white crop top outside a shop with a sign that said, "Stick your Cas up your ass." You know, talking about the Cas review. So I asked him if I could ask him some questions about that. He said, yeah, that's fine. And then I said, do you mind if I film you? And I explained what my channel is about. And he's like, oh, yeah, I think I'll pass. But he was still happy to talk. So he then explained that the reason he thinks we should stick Cas up our ass is he believes it was not an independent review and that it was funded by people who wanted a certain result. And so that they already planned to ban puberty blockers, and he doesn't agree with it. He said he only had a cursory view at it, and I'm like, but that was enough for him to say this is biased, and he thinks that puberty blockers should be available to drug kids out of puberty. Then his friends came back. I think they were in his shop across the road. So I just said we were having a chat about the Cas review, and that I took a different position, and then they didn't want to talk anymore. Anyways, I'm off to Parliament Square. And I have to say, on days like this, I absolutely love living in London. It's such a gorgeous place. Okay, I just had a message from Connie Shaw. We were messaging yesterday. So she said she was going to come here. So I said, look, I'll come and meet you. But then they said they wouldn't be coming. But now I just had a message from her to say that yes, she is here. So I'm going to meet them. And, oh, so sorry. Just walked in front of people. Right, so I just got to Parliament Square. I'm going to find them now. They're near the Fawcett statue. I found Connie, hurrah!
Hello, Menno.
How are you feeling?
Good, thanks. Quite excited. Adrenaline's going.
You were just at a women's conference?
Yeah, I was at the Women's Declaration International Conference. Lots of different panels, very, very interesting speakers, everyone fighting against gender ideology to protect women's rights.
Right, and here we are, bang in the middle of the people fighting for gender ideology.
I didn't think I was going to get down here today, but I'm here now, so just have to see what happens. I want to show that I'm not scared, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, so we might get a turfy reveal, but we'll just have to see how it goes, how we feel, what the crowd is like. Now, apparently the theme, they've all been asked to carry flowers with them today to symbolise that it's a peaceful protest.
Why would it be anything other than a peaceful? Why would it be anything other than a peaceful protest? I saw they put so much advice about what happens if you get arrested. Why on earth would you be getting arrested? Like, have you ever seen a Let Women Speak where we start sort of, I don't know. I don't know. It's very strange why there has to be such a police presence. But I guess it's just because of the volume of people. I guess something could kick off.
Yeah, but also if you start off by saying this is a peaceful protest, like why do you even have to say that? What was your inspiration behind this look?
Many things. Many things. Generally the headdress, but lots of influences.
And today there's lots of people on the parade. I think somebody told me there's like 60,000 or something.
It'll be at least that, I think, yeah.
Could this be one of the biggest trans parades ever?
I think so, yeah. You know, as people are increasing awareness, and our rights have been rolled back, so it's really important that we show visibility and just make ourselves heard.
Which rights are you particularly concerned about?
Just the rights to exist, really, isn't it? And just the rights and freedoms that everyone enjoys, everyone else has and takes for granted.
And what did you make of the Supreme Court ruling when that came in?
Can't think right now.
It basically,
You're taxing me.
Sorry, it's I did some homework.
Yeah.
It basically said that for the Equality Act, the Anti-Discrimination Act in the UK, a man is a man and a woman is a woman.
Oh yes, of course, yes.
Right.
Well, it's not necessarily true. You know, in the same way that homosexuality exists in nature, trans people have always existed. You know, there are trans animals, I'm sure there are, and so we're just trying to be who we are.
What's a trans animal?
Well, there are gay animals, so why can't there be trans animals? There are animals that change sex, and we know this. So you might
like clownfish.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but they do it all by themselves.
Yeah.
So going forward, what's the way forward for the trans movement?
Just to keep protesting until we get the same rights and freedoms, as I said, as everyone else.
And do you see there's a conflict in rights here at all, like between, say, women's rights and trans rights, or between gay rights and trans rights?
I think we can all live in harmony, and we can all have the rights that we need to live our lives in harmony. Thank you.
And then I had a 5-minute conversation with this man who identifies as a woman with a beard and says that his beard doesn't make him any less of a woman. A bit like Alex Drummond.
I am a trans woman. And I live full-time as a trans woman, but I'm also widening the bandwidth of how to be a woman. So you're curious about the beard, how? It kind of deconstructs gender, it queers gender.
We had a nice enough chat, but then as soon as I said that I was really happy with the Supreme Court ruling, he changed his mind about our conversation and said that he didn't want me to use it and walked away. But he basically said that he believes that the Supreme Court ruling doesn't protect black women, that it doesn't protect hairy women, and that it's also rolled back gay rights. And that I'm basing the validity of homosexuality on the erasure of trans identity, which I think is ironic because it's exactly the other way around. So-called trans rights always rely on completely upending what a woman is, what a man is, and what a homosexual is. Anyways, that's when the parade arrived.
Again, there's Mr. Baker, right at the front.
And suddenly, Connie made a run for it. Bearded man tries to stop us, but there she goes with the Turf Island flag.
Turf Island! Connie, you just did something I think was actually very brave.
I just held my Turf Island flag up in front of the parade because, like, this can feel like really amazing. I can understand why this must feel amazing, but at the end of the day, what the Supreme Court has said what the law is.
When you got in front of them and you got your flag out, how did that feel? Were you scared? Were you like, oh my God?
Not really, no.
Ivories of steel.
I don't know. I feel quite safe. Maybe I'm really naive. I don't feel that's. I almost feel like you dare and just like go for it, like try and do something. Maybe these people. You know, I was at the front of the crowd, so it was the disabled section, so I don't think anyone was going to be able to come and run after me. Maybe Sarah Jane could have got me. I don't know. Realistically, I wasn't going to get punched because just of the. Yeah.
It's quite telling, I think, that they're happy to have a convicted kidnapper and torturer and attempted murderer leading the march.
I was actually surprised to see that he was leading the march. I got it for the Moves March because that was insane. But I wonder who authorises these things. Maybe he does just plonk himself at the front. Like, I do wonder whether all of these people know who Sarah Jane Baker is. Surely some of even the people who are here supporting the cause, who are more sort of moderate, like sometimes they'll probably see things. I wonder whether some people who come to these marches actually peak because they've come to a trans organised march.
West Streeting, shame on you! West Streeting, shame on you! West Streeting, shame on you! West Streeting, shame on you!
Hiya. Sorry, could I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
So I heard you say, you take some issue with what West Streeting has done.
Yes.
What's he done wrong?
I'm not taking questions. I think Amy might have more to say about that. I'm more just a chant leader.
Okay. You're more like the town crier.
Yeah, exactly.
Gender critical opinions are bigotry. What's your inspiration? Tell me more about your sign. Oh, you don't want to? Okay. Okay, it's really filling up now. Parade's over. And Alan Baker is somewhere in the middle, walking around topless. He's taken off, most of the clothes that he had on. He's taken off his top. So it's just standing there. Every now and then he gets up and he shouts through a megaphone wearing nothing but a little, I don't know, it looks more like a shawl around his waist or something, or a skirt. Sun's come out. Gorgeous. Not all women have vaginas. Can you tell me a bit about the message on your back?
The message is like not all the women have vaginas, so does the genitals that's not identify as you as like a woman. Like, I mean, sorry, I'm just my English. Sorry.
Where are you from?
Italy.
Italy. Ciao. But basically you say some women have a penis.
Yeah, and they're still women, like despite of like having like a genital, despite of the genitals, like they don't define your gender. So that's why I believe like not all women have vaginas. Or women can also have penis and they're still women, regardless of that.
And if they have a penis, it doesn't make them any less of a woman?
Absolutely not, no. We're so focused about the genitals that we think we reduce a woman just to have like a dick of a vagina, but being a woman is more than ever like a dick of a vagina. Femininity is more than that, and that's what my message is all about.
Okay. Now, I quite like penises myself.
Same. As much as I hate it, I still love it, you know what I mean?
You mean you love the ones that other people have?
Other people are like me.
Okay. Have a great day.
Thank you, sweetie.
Right, biology is not destiny. What was your inspiration behind this sign?
I believe it's a second wave feminist slogan that was supposed to sort of indicate that as a cis woman, your rights, your position in society shouldn't be determined by your physical body. And I feel like in a time that feminism is being weaponized against trans rights, it would be nice to bring back this sentiment because I think it holds true.
And are you crying silver tears?
I'm always crying silver tears. There's a lot to be sad about.
It reminds me of that song. The golden years, the silver tears, you wore a tie like Richard Gere, you know?
I don't know it, but it sounds fun.
It's called Crying at the Discotheque.
Fabulous. And Richard Gere's involved? What a time.
What are you crying about, like metaphorically?
I feel like we're at a very grief-heavy part of human history. It's something that I've been wearing in performance quite a lot. I think it's grief. I think it's grief for the trans people who are not with us. It's grief for the trans people who are not able to be with us. It's grief for the elders, the generation that we lost to AIDS. It's grief for Palestine. It's grief for Sudan and Congo. There's a lot of pain and there's a lot of real dark, shitty stuff at the moment. So, yeah.
And did you hear about the Supreme Court ruling earlier this year?
I did hear about the Supreme Court ruling earlier this year.
How does that impact you?
I mean, logistically, it's creating... It's making it much harder for trans people to interact with the world. It's our jobs are turning against us. The government is turning it's getting harder and harder to exist comfortably in mainstream society, and it has caused personal things in my life. It's caused personal things in the lives of a lot of people that I know, and I think it's only going to get worse. So yes, that.
And what would you say to, like, there are women who are very happy with the ruling because they say it protects their rights based on sex, based on biology. So they would take a very different view, I guess. I mean, biology is not destiny. The way that I understood that is, it doesn't mean that you don't have a particular biology, but you shouldn't be have certain expectations placed on you because of your biology. But do you still acknowledge that there is such a thing as a female and male, and that's down to reproductive sex?
It's not for me personally to decide what is or isn't a man or a woman. I would say that I don't think any trans people believe that biological sex simply doesn't exist at all. We live in a reality that is that like our physical bodies are present things, and no one's denying that. But in my mind, what I would say to the people who are pleased with the Supreme Court ruling is, it feels to me like the struggle for gender equality, be that gender equality between men and women, queer people and non-queer people, trans people and non-trans people. To me, it's the same fight. It's the fight against patriarchal ideology. It's the fight against the anything that seeks to limit people for their gendered experience in any way. And cis women are part of that, trans women are part of that, non-binary people are part of that. It's yes, we have the same enemies, we have the same fight, and I really don't believe we need to be against each other in this thing. I think that's a distraction from the powers that are genuinely trying to keep us down.
Look at these dolls, womaning. But it's nothing to do with stereotypes, honestly.
Let's do it.
When did this phase of yours end?
As soon as she started being transphobic and I realised what a horrible person she was. And it's heartbreaking because it's how I got to know my sister, and I had to say to my sister that I couldn't enjoy it anymore. It just sucks, but I can live without Harry Potter, but trans kids can't live without transitioning.
When you say this is how you met your sister, what do you mean?
So I didn't meet my sister until the day Will and Kate got married. She's my half sister. And the first time I met her was in a Costa, and I was reading a Harry Potter book. And the first thing she said to me was, "Oh, I like that book." And that's how we got to know each other. But I'm trans, and I can't support an author who hates me. So.
Do you think that she hates you?
She seems to. She's constantly going after me and my trans siblings' rights, saying that we're a threat to everyone. We just want to be happy and live. That's all.
And how did you feel about the Supreme Court ruling earlier this year?
That was awful. I'm lucky. I pass as cis. Unless people see my badge, they don't see me as anything but cis.
But I have trans friends who are terrified now to go out in public and just use the bathroom. It's like, we just want to pee. That's all it is. Like, bathrooms are for going to the toilet. And the problem is not with trans women, it's with cis men. And they just want another group of people they can go after. And at the minute it's trans people. But once they finish with trans people, who are they going to go after next?
So when you need to go, like in public, where do you go?
I don't tend to be out in public that long. Like, I'm quite lucky my local town has a gender-neutral toilet. But a lot of the time I'm just make sure I plan it so I can get home in time.
Would you feel as uncomfortable in the men's as you would in the ladies if there was no gender-neutral option?
I just feel uncomfortable in any of them because I get judged because I look quite masculine. And they judge me if I'm in the women's. No one really wants to go into men's because they're always a mess. And luckily, just like gender-neutral ones exist, but they're so few and far in between.
Is that something that you would campaign for, to have more gender-neutral toilets?
Yeah, I mean, everyone benefits from having gender-neutral toilets because, especially the lines for like women's toilets are so long. Whereas if it was gender-neutral, they wouldn't have that much of a queue because you could use any of the stalls that are there.
So you're not going to be checking out the new Harry Potter series on HBO?
No, I have completely abandoned it. I have put all the gifts I've got for the last 20 or so years into storage, and I'm thinking of selling them to raise money for trans charities just to spite her. Just to spite her.
And here we have some more anti-TERF messages. TERFs eat. This one's quite funny. The only transition Labour supports is Starmer to Thatcher. Section 28 2.0.
What does it mean?
I'm just hungry.
Okay, this one's not so bad. Transjoy destroys fascism.
Ooh, sun's really coming out now. Right, they've started the speeches. I'm just going to go for a breather. They're slagging off the Supreme Court ruling, the EHRC, of course, blah, blah, blah. What's new? But yeah, I'm just going to have a break, have a little drink, have a sandwich in the sunshine.
When I got back, I listened to a couple of the speeches. One was by a group called Trans Kids Deserve Better. They were responsible for unleashing a whole bunch of crickets at the LGBT Alliance conference last year. And that got applauded, of course.
And what followed has been a year of love, grief, releasing crickets.
She also got applauded for starting testosterone.
Starting testosterone? 2 months on tea!
And then I thought, okay, wow, is this like the face of trans rights and trans activism? Here we have a teenage girl who's already using a walking stick, being applauded for going on testosterone, while right next to the stage there's Alan Baker, the convicted kidnapper, torturer and attempted murderer who cut off his own balls in prison, standing there topless. Like, what? And then she said, don't just protect us, avenge us.
Don't just throw around the phrase protect trans youth, avenge us. Arm us with the tools we need ourselves and fight with us.
So it's not just about love and flowers, is it? I mean, look at this sticker. Shut the up, TERF, or you're gonna get a in the head. Or this sign that somebody left outside a pub.
It's not busy anymore. It's like, I don't know where all these people went, but as soon as the speeches started, it's like people just started leaving, I think. I noticed there are a lot of, anti-JK Rowling signs. That's per usual. But seeing all those signs just makes me appreciate even more what she does. She knew that when she started speaking out that she'd become a focal point for all their, their hatred, they're always talking about hate, but they're the ones dishing it out. And still, she speaks up, she sticks with it, and she's in it all the way.
And there were so many anti-JK Rowling signs that I only saw when I got home and checked Twitter. Like these ones. JK's pronouns are heinous loser. She's a human rights terrorist. JK is a slag. But then on the stage it said slags against fascism. JK Rowling. JK wanks on all fours. JK Rowling is thinking about your genitals. Punch a turf, and then a fist punching JK Rowling with devil horns, and JK Rowling saying, I'm a more demonization. Trolls from hell. And here depicting JK Rowling as a germ that needs disinfectant. Imagine if you had signs like this about so-called trans people, all hell would break loose. But if it's about women, hey, it's okay.
It makes me appreciate J.K. Rowling even more. Obviously, it's nothing new to have all these signs, but to see so many of them, and then they're talking about hatred, you know, we are loved. I mean, they're the ones dishing out all the hatred. So thank you, J.K. Rowling, once again for being so steadfast and such an inspiration to so many of us. Right, on that note, I'm here with some other turfs, by the way. We're all going to go to the pub and have a drink. Right, I ended up having a conversation with those two. And one identifies as non-binary. I think the other thinks that she's a trans man. She did have that self-made man sign or badge. So we're just chatting away, and it's a friendly conversation, talking about the Supreme Court ruling and the impact that has had on them and their friends. And they're like, oh, it's terrible, blah, 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 blah. And then we're just having quite a nice chat. And then I asked, like the blonde one, the one with the blonde highlights, I asked, do you still, acknowledge your sex? Because some non-binary people do, but some don't. So what is your take on that? Are you okay with acknowledging that you're female? And then she's like, well, you know, it's different for everyone. And then her friend went, but sex just isn't important, you know, it just doesn't matter. So that's when I said, actually, I was in the Supreme Court when they handed down the ruling, and I think sex is quite important, so I was really happy with the ruling. And then the one with the dark hair just kind of went, and she wasn't happy at all. So she said, like, why did you come here today? And I said, to have conversations. And okay, did you learn anything new? Did anything change your mind? And I said, well, not really. You know, I've been sort of in this for 5-6 years, and I'm open to hearing new arguments, but it hasn't happened today. And then she was like, why did you come here? You shouldn't be here. You know, we thought we were having a conversation with a queer person. And I'm like, actually, I found that word offensive. And it went downhill from there pretty quick. And then she's just like, you shouldn't be here. And I'm like, well, that's not very nice. You know, you should be open to having conversations with people that you don't agree with. And have I been rude? And the other girl went, no. I said, exactly. Has it been an aggressive conversation? No, exactly. Like, we're just having a calm conversation. But she really wasn't happy. So then they said their goodbyes, and she said something about, you've ruined my day. And I was like, well, it can't have been that good a day if it was that easy to ruin. But funny thing is then, so I walked away, but then they walked straight up to Connie and her friend. And we're like, oh, has that man tried to speak to you as well? And Connie's like, oh, what do you mean? So then they started having a chat, and Connie's like, talking about single-sex spaces. So then they went, so they left. They couldn't handle that, which is sad, really, that they can't even have a polite, calm conversation with someone who just sort of disagrees, you know, not even aggressively. Anyways, right, time to go now, time to go. Let's go to the pub, pub.
This is interesting.
All right, this one's funny. If humans are 60% water, then everyone is fluid.
Everybody knows that.
I quite like that.
Yeah.
So we were talking
Bisexual dweebs.
bisexual dweebs.
For trans liberation. You have always been, what does it say? You've always been here. Okay, and there's no LGB without the T. All right. That pisses me off, because it's like we have every right to have our own stuff. LGB with the TQIA plus always. No! We're going to file for divorce. And we're keeping the kids. Every time you punch a turf, a trans kid gets more rise. Connie, what do you make of that?
I imagine a child probably wrote this. I have no idea. I mean, I think they should have. I love free speech, and I think you should be able to say this. And I don't actually mind it when they do say stuff like this, 'cause it does our job for us. I mean, you have to be absolutely out of your mind to write something like that and be proud to hold it. Imagine if we wrote, every time you punch a trans woman, actual women get more rights.
Yeah. No, it's like we'd never get away with that.
It's like, imagine.
But also, this to me is like, it's not just okay to punch a turf. You actually get positive stuff come out of that.
It's a good thing.
I found that really disturbing.
And then we went to the pub. Now, one of us was wearing an adult human female shirt, and we were stood outside the pub on the pavement with our drinks. And then there was a bloke across the road with a bad wig and a mini skirt. He spotted the t-shirt, so he crossed the street to come over to us, and he flipped the bird in our faces and stomped off. So then I followed him, and I went like, hey mate, that's rude. There's no need for that. And then the guy in the wig went, well, you shouldn't be here. You know, it's trans pride. You shouldn't be wearing stuff like that. And it's like, what? Is there some kind of trans approved dress code on a day like this? As if he wouldn't take an issue with her wearing that shirt on any other day. It's ridiculous. And then again, he said, you shouldn't be here. You should stay away. And Connie said, and you should stay out of women's spaces. And I just love this picture of Connie. It's a still from that little video I shot. Anyways, that's it from me. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you don't know what to say, just say, yay, Mr. Gay.
I shall see you in the next one. Ciao.
Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to my PayPal and Patreon supporters. Because of you, I can make videos like this. Special shout out to my big spenders. Help Her Open, Mama Turv and the Turventines, Me Julie, The Lovely Mary, Julia, Dusty, Judels, Leffy, Dorothy, Wildfire, Esther, and Martha. Thank you.